an intrinsic link between the sexual horizon of experience and the death of God. So when I think of those two things, like obviously the death of God happened in like the 19th century, Nietzsche's line, the church declines, people become more atheistic. And then the sexual horizon experience seems very similar today, where it's all over media and the idea of sexuality is so pervasive. I guess my question was that like Bataille's, do you think like the sexual horizon was the answer to the death of God or like a consequence of it?
Bataille, his contribution to that was to use the idea of sex, address the same issue that the European philosophers have been dealing with for the last 200 years, which is if you walk away from God, then what are you going to do? So now if you look at the Christian view, and what is the essence? What is the whole thing about the Christianity? The ultimate view, the ultimate importance in Christianity is that you're not supposed to have sex. Do we remember how did Adam and Eve made their mistake? Because they had sex. If they didn't have sex, then life was great. The whole world was perfect. The only reason they were kicked out of the paradise was because they had sex. So then all of a sudden they said, oh, Eve as a woman always easy to be tempted by evil. She got the fruit, the apple, and gave it to Adam, and both screwed, and then they're in trouble. but the question is, okay, so what is a big deal? The big deal is that, well, you can't have that apple because you know too much. I mean, that's what they're trying to tell you. So think about it. What the hell are they going to know? Besides sex, what else are they going to know? I mean, so basically you're telling humans, you can't have sex. Of course, the people begin to say, okay, now if we kill God, can we have sex? But this heavy burden is still on them. And they still can't talk about sex. Think about Nietzsche. He should have go to a hooker house all day long, all night. But he didn't. And he was a very idealistic. He was almost like a monastic in that way. He was in love with somebody, but it had nothing to do with that. He was a very Christian. And he was like a saint, one of the, Jesus' students. And then they brought it to kill God. I mean, this whole thing, it's in a lot of ways still very idealistic. Bataille always saw that. So, okay, let's talk about sex. If you don't talk about sex, you can't get this problem over. And of course, Bataille never was able to resolve the issue himself. And until this very day, we're still doing the same thing. So almost 100 years later, since Bataille, we're still stuck in the same situation. Nothing has changed that much.